and I'm head of the cave diving rescue group of Croatian Mountain Rescue Service. Last 11 years, and I hope it's enough, inshallah. Today, our intention is to present with PowerPoint and with live demonstration how we adapt Petzl nest stretcher for using in cave diving rescue. But for general, our group has temporarily 8 members. 2 of them diving on rebreather system. That is Trigo and Petra eating somewhere there. And 6 of us diving on open circuit. Who is diver between you know the difference. And we start. Beginning of our group is in on the end of 2004, and we have in the last 11 years we have only one diving rescue action in this spring in Cetina, where we will go today. On 2009, and we have few mission in the sea, because our ability is diving till 100 meters deep with the Trimix gas system, and in all caves and pits till 100 meters deep, and depend how far, depends on the deep and the complexity of the system. The most interesting thing in cave diving rescuing is to extract live person out, and for that purpose we are working with Petzl nest stretcher since 2008. In 2008 we do first exercise with diving stretcher. After we saw in France what they do, some similar in France, Spello Secours Français developed a special stretcher, but they were very heavy. I think 70 or 80 kilos, and it was quite big problem to work with that stretcher, even if it's underwater, because you need to bring that stretcher somewhere in the cave. And after that they start modification on the Petzl nest standard stretcher, and we saw that and we start also doing that. And on 2010 Igor Markanjevic, Cigo, and me were in France for one course with them, and we try their modification, and after that we start modification in Croatia with this stretcher, and we would like today to present you our solution. It's a quite big difference from the French solution, because we don't do any modification on stretcher. It is normal stretcher what you can use in any action, so we didn't do absolutely anything to modify stretcher. We just have some special things what we can put and connect with the stretcher to modify them to use in underwater. So that is good, because we don't change structure of the stretcher, and we can use in any part of Croatia, because each station of the Mountain Rescue Service has stretcher like this, so we can just take our these parts and take normal stretcher and go. And this is the first presentation of this modification. So you are first you are
First to privilege.
you are privileged. You are very lucky to see this.
Okay.
Okay, now Trigo will continue with the presentation, and during presentation we will start doing this adaptation.
Okay.
If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask or wait to the end.
Okay. So, I'm Vladan Trigo. They call me Trigo, obviously. I'm one of the newer members of the group. In the last 2 years, maybe, something like that.
But very hard work.
Okay. Okay, so what we wanted to do today is show you our issues that we found, our solutions, tell you why we did them, how we did them, and also if you want to do them, how you can do them yourself. Besides that, we have also we made also manual in Croatian and English. Here is the English version. There are 10 copies here, and you can get it by email if you want later on. All of this which we will talk about today is also here with the details, which parts, how they are prepared, what needs to be put where and why. So, if you want. Okay, so briefly, some of these parts Chucky have now also mentioned. Let's see and go through them as well. First, why did we choose? We'll tell you why did we choose Petzl. Our experiences so far, goals which we have set in front of us, so what we want to achieve and how, challenges which we recognize during the years, and then our solutions. So, in a structured way, tell you how we got where we are today. Okay, so why did we choose it? Chucky mentioned it already in some parts, but mainly, first it's available everywhere in Croatia, in all our stations or at least major stations, there is Nest. So we can, if there is an action, we can get to the stretcher in no time. So that's one big thing. Second thing is that it's durable, it's easy to modify, it's extensible in every possible way. It's great for us to use in such a task. So what this helps us is that we can take the stretcher, modify a few bits, put it in water, go diving, make a good action, come back, disassemble it, get it to original state, and put it in some GSM stations where we took it from, which is a great thing to have. Also, this stretcher, as you know, in various cave rescue operations, has proven itself to be a very good tool, which is rigid, which can withstand a whole bunch of problems. And for us as well, in the water where you have to squeeze it in all different places, it's a great thing to have. So all of this makes this stretcher a great base to put our things in and to go diving and to make a good action. Okay, our experiences, Chucky basically stole this slide, but the point is that we started some years ago, we gathered experiences during the years, we gathered all the small bits that were making us have problems, and then we did one by one little thing until we got to a complete solution. So today we can say that we have a stretcher that meets our needs. There are still some things about maybe the dry suit and things like that, but the stretcher as itself is now done. Okay, so goals. In order to understand why and how, you need to also understand the goals. Goals of our work with this were first and primarily to provide a safe and secure way to get the injured person out. In order to do that, we need to do a whole bunch of things. In cave diving, there are special challenges which will be talked now in further slides, which make this task a little bit harder than in normal caving, at least when talking about the stretcher. So the first goal that we set was to make a secure and safe transport and make everything that we need around it to be possible. Okay, so we set to solve all the recognized challenges during the year. find solutions which can survive all the situations we have. So transport, nagging around, pulling, all things. And finally, make a reusable set. This is the part that Chucky mentioned as well. So we want to have a set in this bag, which anyone can take from Zagreb, for example, put it in the car, arrive at GSS station, take the stretcher, mount it, and go. So we want to have something that's reusable. And we want to have something that we can make a couple of copies of that and also have it in all different stations, and so that it's easy to blend in. So that was one main
And it's
goal.
quite cheap.
Yeah, and it's quite cheap. It's not that expensive. So that's one of the big points. Okay. So now about the challenge. There are three basic big points. One is securing the tank. So while diving, the injured person needs to breathe. So he's underwater, he cannot breathe obviously. So we need to mount some diving tanks on this stretcher. It's not possible to have it on his back, it's not possible to have it on rescuer's back, but we need to have it on the stretcher. So we have two tanks here. It's important to think about the two tanks because he needs to have redundancy. So you cannot rely that you only have one tank, one regulator, you need to have redundancy, as you all of the cave divers already know.
We use normal tanks.
Other tanks in this, the 80s, in this case. So that is the first big challenge, how to secure it, that in all possible situations like this, like basically you can turn it upside down, that the tanks don't drop off. It's a big challenge, because if they drop off, we have a big problem. So that's the first challenge that we have to have. Second challenge is balance and trim. So you're basically pulling this stretcher. You're already spending a lot of energy in that. The injured person is in stress. You have all the big problems. And if your stretcher is like dropping down or floating up or like this, maybe the trim is off, and you have big problems. And we had it for years. We had it and we reckoned that, okay, we need to put lead here, to get it like this, to all the different solutions. So we had that challenge during this. And bit by bit, we recognize chances where we can improve. So where we can modify things, add things to make it better. So that's the second challenge. So it's balance, that is neutral in the water, and trim, that is as horizontal as possible with the head of the injured person slightly up. And it needs to be perfect like that in all the different depths, in all the different passages and things, and it's quite a big challenge. Okay? Third challenge is securing the injured person. This maybe sounds as the simplest challenge, but it's also a real one because, especially for me now that I've gained some weight, the problem is that these are too short. So if you if you put basically a person in a dry suit, if you put him, you cannot strap him. You basically get like this. And if you have dry gloves, you cannot do anything. And it's not secure, it's not safe. It goes against our first goal, which is a big problem. So we wanted to make also a solution for that problem. Those are three big things. Okay? So tanks, balance and trim, and then security. All of those things were met with our solutions.
Excuse me. So if you said these are too short,
Yep.
so that means that you only use these, or you also use the ones in the Petzl net?
We basically recognize that these are too short and the ones for
And
the shoulder.
inside they are also too short.
Because
Yeah.
those are actually the ones that usually.
No, both
strap
of
the
them,
person.
both of them are too short.
Yeah, but the real problems are on the shoulder ones and on these. So we had problems with exactly two of those in the stretch.
Because person is in dry suit and that is quite huge
Yeah,
around
Yeah,
here.
one part.
So there is no cavers like
Like
cave divers.
Okay, so we basically made some solutions. Okay, these are all the different slides which I've just mentioned to you only. Okay, so solutions. First and foremost goal besides security is to make it transportable, to make it a set energy. So all of the things which will be mentioned now are again going one by one validated with that goal. Okay, if we can make it, but is it simple enough to remove it, to add it again, then okay, it goes. If not, we need to rethink it. So that was our motivation. Securing, balance and trim, and securing tanks, balance and trim, and securing the injector. So the tanks, we basically made there. You can see there are some gaps here, which can be used to slide in some holders on which you can strap the tanks. So we basically started with that, and we have that.
Basically, you can just connect them with these holders, but in that case, tanks will be too much down,
Low.
too much low under the stretcher. So we need to have them in a line like with the stretcher, because that is hydrodynamically the best solution.
We get all of these out, but
Don't let me mess
okay, so this is the tank holder. The idea of this is to slide it in. To slide it in the stretcher. To put one more here. And then you have basically two secure via cam bands. You have two secure places to put your tank in. And then we have the two better. Okay. So we have now two of these to put the bottle in, so to put the tank. Okay. Which is a great solution, and this is one of the first things that we made for the stretcher.
Čuki, možeš pokazati jedno kako izgleda? Samo mi sliku.
Okay, so this is a great solution, and it held the bottles tight. However, it still had a problem that it could fall out. So if you put the stretcher like this and you're going through narrow passage and this and that, the bottle comes out, and you have a problem. Then one of our members, our colleague, envisioned this. So the idea of this is you put the second one on the second side, like this, also from the and you connect them.
Under the stretcher.
Yeah, through the stretcher.
Through the stretcher.
Through the stretcher. And you connect them like this. And basically in that way, the whole thing either moves left or right, but it cannot go anywhere further. It cannot go out or anything like that. It's simple enough thing, very, very cheap to produce, very, very easy to mount, and also goes with our first goal and to make it reusable and all of that. So you basically put two of these here, two of these here. Then you guide this through. Okay. And you connect. And it's not going anywhere. It can go
Little
basically
bit.
till the length of this. It can go left or right, but nowhere else. We thought about making any other solution which are even more secure, but all of them require then drilling the stretcher and this and that, which is not the thing that we want to do. We want to basically take the stock stretcher, put this in, remove it later without any single permanent modification. So, and this is a great solution for that. Okay? Besides mounting the tanks, also one very important thing that we found were that we wanted to use special regulators. The divers will know, probably most of you, why these are like this. They have a side membrane, which in this case, it means that when you put the stretcher like this, like that, that it won't go into free flow. Which is, free flow is a situation when the membrane opens and you basically get a whole lot of air to the regulator, without your control over it. This regulator is a little bit different, in a way that it has a side membrane which does not allow that. So it's important bit of the stretcher. Okay? It can work with normal ones as well, but this is, let's say, safe in all situations. Okay. So to make them secure, we have the cam bands. These are basically the same system as you have on your BC, so wing or any other combination. We welded these, so they are secure. You put the bottle in and make it tight. It's simple and it's effective in a way that these two basically never break and they hold the bottle very, very tight. Yeah, I missed it. Okay, I put this one a little bit too low.
Shift happens.
No shit.
Really, you need longer tanks.
But okay, so this is the system.
But you must change it because people will make what you should change.
Yeah.
It must. Sure, exactly.
How many of these points do you have where you theoretically could put in these holders?
Everywhere. You basically have it everywhere around this. You have those, you can show it later. You have something like bolts from beneath, and where they are you cannot put them, but every once in a while, and usually around these, they are a little bit wider. So all those places are also the places where you can,
You can mount 4 tanks.
yeah, without problem.
Yeah.
You have additional. Is it important to mount on front side or if you use only 2 tanks, is it better to be on the middle of the stretcher?
It's better up because then the hoses of the regulators don't have to be too low, and they are easily reachable by the person on the head of the injured person, so the rescuer, who can then control the injured person. He can check also the pressure in the tanks, and if there are any issues like if they are here, it can also be done, but it's just a little bit easier. Also,
The biggest volume is on the front side.
nije u redu.
Ne ove. Ovaj je težak.
Ali, aha,
Sad dole staviš boce, onda imaš.
Hrvaček?
Perhaps it. Hey, bring the bottle to the floor when you manipulate there. I cannot see that.
Yeah, I agree. Stressful. A little bit.
Yeah, really. If it's exploding in here, then the hot is away here.
We have a nice party.
Samo oni ne rade.
Taman sam komentirao.
Ne radimo često.
Da ne radite često. Trebali biste dečki više vežbati.
So these are the plans.
Kaj? Ja.
Okay. So this is basically, and now it's basically a part of the stretcher.
So,
Okay. So this is our first solution to this. One more important thing why they are on the head is because you always have more air in your lungs, and it's a little bit natural to have more weight there. If you know also from diving, when you want to get ideal trim, you put a little bit weight here, and you get basically a nice natural balance. So by putting also these here, you get a little bit of help. You can counter it with weight if you need, but it also helps. Okay?
Sad su neutralne.
Ne, nisu još.
Idu dole.
Sad je... problem je što trebaš olova. Trebaš puno olova jer ovo je sve pozitivno plovno, to pluta.
Okay, so the next challenge is balance and trim. And basically the whole stretcher, the person with the dry suit, everything, it's way too positive for anything. So we wanted to put some weight on the stretcher to make it ideally balanced, and then later on think about the trim so that it's horizontal. On the first try, we mounted weights on like carabiners, so we would put them like here or on some other pieces of the stretcher to try. But then you have low hanging weights, they get in all the different places. As you know from cave diving, if there is something to get entangled, it will get entangled. So that's the story with weights as well. If there's any small chance for them to get somewhere in that, some
Murphy law work
every
always.
possible time. So you want to make them a part of the stretcher that they are basically inside. So
What we saw in France, they use the weights, but they connect them here. And that is quite low under the stretchers. So we try to do on the same way, but it was quite big problem. And one of our members have solution.
yeah. So the first problem. Da. Malo ga tvoj. Ovo naume se ne.
So solution is very simple.
We have basically this inside. which are sometimes wooden, sometimes plastic.
And we change that
What
with
is?
this, with inox, what is quite heavy.
Yep.
And that is integral part of the stretcher. That is, I would say, most revolutionary idea what we get, because this is okay. Some of you can solve this problem, but this is, I think, very, very clever, because on this way you have integral weight with the stretcher, and you have different shape, little bit more or little bit less. So you can change weight what you need. We know from the exercise how weight we need, so we just make two different.
Basically, we made them into two, and there are 4 of them, so that you can fine tune. If you want all 4 of them, fine. If you want two, fine. If you want all 8 of them, they can make it a little bit wider.
This depends on what? On the depth?
Is it person like me?
Or like me.
Or like him?
The most important is size of the person and his dry suit. So that is huge difference between weights.
Yeah. And so we basically made 2 sets that we can combine, and in the future it's easy even to make another one if you want to add even more weight, but so far it's not needed. So far,
The
How
weight
many
is,
kilos do you?
what is the weight?
Koliko kila je to?
I think 6. I think 6 kilos. Each.
With all of them? Or?
No, no,
All of
no,
them.
no.
All of them.
6 or 10. I have a small weight. My God.
No, I think it's,
I think it was 6
kilogram or
kilos
1.5.
also. Something like that.
I think it's more. I think it's
No,
more.
no.
Yeah, but we don't use all of them.
We usually use also.
Use just
Okay,
4.
but we didn't put them on scale, but
And it's good for taste.
yeah. So, easy enough. Just slide it in.
Just put them inside. And on this way, you if it's big person, you can put another dam on the same place. Yeah. So you can put more inside to get perfect balance.
Okay. So, and because it's now talking about trim, so this is about balance, you basically put until you get, after a while you get a feeling. We now roughly know which size of a person, what kind of weight. But after a while you can know it. A couple of exercises, you combine, you see, aha, it's a bigger person, I need all of them. It's a normal person, I need only these 4 or something like that. So it's experience based. You probably won't, on every action, God forbid that there are any, you won't probably combine, aha, I need these or those, but you take it and by hunch you. Good thing is that it gives a natural balance. So with these and with these up front, we got to that balance. And that's to put it negative. Now to think about the positive side, because always when you're thinking about balance in trim, you need to think about the negative buoyancy and positive buoyancy. So this is about the negative. About the positive, we want to basically have a fine trim solution. So in order to have that, we need to be able to trim in both ways. So the feet or the chest. The chest, we have a dry suit on the injured person. So you can basically put air in it. If he's a little bit up, then it won't go into his feet. And so far it worked like that in a good way. For the feet, we use a wing from the normal BC. This is actually part of the French solution, so it's not something.
It's not a revolution.
Yeah. Well, we need to put credit where credit is due. So you basically put it like this, and
Secure with the straps inside.
so that it does get
It's on the victim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, like
And connect here with the carabiner and connect with the tanks. So you can put air inside when you need to lift
the feet.
feet up or put out air if you need to go down.
And it's simple, works.
Simple and stupid.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah, and it works. So basically that solves our trim problem. You can do it like this, we can do everything. And we can really fine tune, which is very important because if the head is a little bit up, but still ideally, all those things.
What do you do when the dry sewage has a crack?
What?
When there is a cut in the dry sewage, so what do you do?
Put another one here.
You have two of them. Okay.
The solution is also sometimes if the person can be in the wetsuit if he's going and scrolling, then you can put it inside, put another
Yeah, just put two wings and that's it.
transporting now.
But you need to have on both sides possibility to
Trim out.
trim.
Yeah. So okay, this solves our second challenge. And in a good way. The third challenge is how to secure the person. This is maybe the simplest solution and it's this is maybe the simplest solution, but still something that we needed to solve. So basically, we found out that we need to extend two of these.
We found that this is too short, absolutely too short.
That's for the legs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
like
for the legs.
my bad.
No way that that you can connect or secure a person inside with these straps. So we need to extend them. But we don't want to do anything. We just connect them in a very simple way.
We wanted to avoid basically having any additional hard connecting points like sewing it together and everything like that, which is one of our main goals. So what we do is basically we tie them together. Simple and effective. It could be a problem if there is.
Keep it simple and stupid.
It could be a problem if there is.
Woo! What a change!
I can fit in now.
Very easy, and now you can even very
Easy and cheap.
This is also very revolutionary.
But
So-
it solves the problem.
So you can extend this, and you can also extend the
The shoulder fitting.
shoulder here, because this one also you need to extend.
Like
This also need to be extended because in a dry suit it's quite big. So doing the same, very revolutionary idea.
we thought about connection points, plastic, metal, like this. Talking to Petzl and this and that.
Thank you. Possible on one place to
Petzl also guys, no,
the same slips.
Yeah, but then you need to. My head was stuck in here. Yes, but then you need additional parts. You need to talk to Petzl because you cannot order them from anywhere. I've tried everything, even sending an email to Petzl. And it can be acquired, but it's bigger problem. And this is simple, effective work, and you have it in all situations. You only need like this.
Is it okay when you have it on a...
And you can dismantle
in a pit
in
as
a
well?
few minutes and
I mean, not good about is a pit or whatever. Is it secure enough to have it not left?
yeah, absolutely secure.
No, I would it's clear, there's no challenge, but let's say if you want to hang him on a rope or so.
No, it's not for the rope.
Yeah, but okay, what you do when you have to bring it into the water, then bring it out of the water with a rope or so.
I think in that case also it can work, because there is
The knot is secure as the knot. So this knot has a problem. If it's too tight, then it cannot be untangled. That's the biggest problem.
You will get some medicine. Drugs.
But you won't use it in all situations, but you will use it when you need it. And
Stavиш, koliko šutni ta voda? Koliko šutni je ta voda?
Mislim, gled, če drži tle to 3 tone, ne, imaš pa tono in pol.
No, verovatno misli zbog udobnosti, da... Ne, zbog udobnosti nije što ima...
Zbog udobnosti
nije
nije
rješavi,
ne,
kako izađe iz vode.
So the discussion is
The
about
webbing is probably stronger than the stretch.
So the tape is like 2 tons, and when you make a knot, you still have more than 1,000 kilo of possible load.
I agree
So
with you.
everything else will go before that.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just a question of, let's say, what
Becoming
is
a-
allowed and what is not allowed. Yeah.
And this is German question. It's allowed.
We talk a lot and we agree that it's allowed.
we live in a country where we need to improvise from the childhood to all day. So this is
I
quite.
know it sounds funny, but actually it's often a very strong question.
Bear in mind that stretchers don't have any standards.
See.
Yeah, so C norms, yes. So basically, what is not, what is in the instructions manual is what is allowed. And, that's it.
There is instruction on it's allowed.
From today, this is all allowed because it's an instruction.
You created the standard.
Right manual. We create the manual is here. It's allowed. From today we have standard. This is European Union body. It's quite enough.
I don't understand why you're showing it as.
Did you consider maybe using the clamps for the weight belt? You know, the same one that you usually use in diving.
Yeah, but we also need to extend this. And there it's a little bit too wide. So it will probably solve this part, but not this. And with this we had a universal solution for basically.
To be honest, I would
And it's
rely
cheaper.
more on the knot than on the
Cheap, it's
clamp.
simple and cute.
It's not even the point of cheapest, but most easily acquired. So basically for the clamps you need to either talk to Petzl, make this solution, that solution, you need to try it out, think is it good, what will it slip, everything. This you don't have a lot. You go to buy the straps and you go.
We don't want our people think a lot when we start rescue. It's not good. Don't think work.
Okay, so final issue is with the yellow ones, and basically it's the same solution. So these are way too short, and the solution is the same. Only wait till you only with this.
The same thing.
Yeah, I think even the same water.
Second revolution today, yes, second revolution today.
Probably it's quite expensive.
Yeah, but this yeah. Do you have the white one?
Ice.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Thanks.
Actually,
So
as you mentioned, maybe it's still better to use the knot because it won't undo itself.
yeah, it's secure.
That can.
Yeah.
It's more strong.
Although technically you already have a steel.
Yes, and people always
For the white
learn
one.
to make practice nuts.
Yeah.
It's good.
Gets to learn, yeah.
So basically that's it. You put person in dry suit, or he is already in the dry suit. You mount him in. You put the additions, and you go diving. That's basically our issues, our solutions, and our approach to make it simple, to make it reusable, not to permanently change anything on stretcher, to give us all different options of trim, balance, everything, and it works. So far, it works.
Does the person fit between the bottles? It looks a bit narrow.
Depending on the person.
He started to pray.
Or just step on him.
Just you can put him like this.
Then you can put two.
Put two darts.
You sell this idea to French already?